Welcome to the first story time. Slight introduction before starting the video. This channel is going to be a story time channel where I tell stories that happened to me, so yeah, hope you enjoy. Heading straight into the story, as you can probably tell by the title, this story time. It's about a bad weed experience where me and two of the mates were basically feeling like we're on Mars, right? That's not the worst of it. So, about a week prior to this experience, I'd already used this exact pen with one of the same mates and a different mate. So we'll give the stoner who owns the pen his name. He's Billy, little Billy, right? And just for the sake of this video, the other mate who was just there, we'll just call him the other mate. We were there smoking. After it became to conclusion the next day that maybe it wasn't just weed. We do believe that it was spiked or with spice in it. That it weren't just weed the way it made us feel. So back to the video. It's me and we'll call his other mate, who isn't, the stoner isn't here yet, he's not at the story yet. Call his other mate Jimmy. So me and Jimmy are out with a few other mates. They're not really involved in the story. They were just out with us playing some football. Me and Jimmy were playing. They were getting cold. It was definitely -1 over here in the UK, and we were playing some football. Court started getting frozen. Everyone was like, "Yeah, it was starting in." Until little Billy decides to message Jimmy saying, "I'm coming out. Would you want to go on a walk? I have the pen." And we offered the other mates, but they're not really into the idea because they wanted to go home. They didn't want to go home stoned. We had college the next day. One of them, they didn't really want to go in home and then wake up the next day feeling like shit. So we all get up off the court. We meet Billy and we start into this garage because it's only the shop opening by the time we met. So we get to this garage. I buy a drink. I didn't really think about food, to be honest. I didn't really buy any food. Just got a massive bottle of water. They got drinks as well. We had the idea originally just to go on a normal walk until it was someone's idea to get to these two abandoned houses in mine. And just for sake of story, these two abandoned houses, they're down like a really, really long path that's like surrounded in forest. It was just a muddy trail. And then in the day we have been before, it's not as bad in the day, but when you go in there you see needles everywhere, alcoholic like cans, whatever, beer cans, bottles of vodka, see everything. And we had the idea, being smart, we weren't even stoned by this point, we was like, yeah, fuck it, we're gonna get stoned, we're gonna go there and it'd be sick. So we're on this main road, started just smoking, a lot of it. Probably say each about 6-7 drags. One of Billy was already stoned before he even fucking met us, and me and Jimmy were just like, yeah, sod it. So by the time we get to this trail, the start of the trail, we are fucked. So we're walking, me and Jimmy, Billy's on his phone behind us, and then I point out. So as I'm walking, I'm staring at the floor, and I can on the floor there's this puddles, right, obviously because it's water, and it's been raining quite bad. There's 3 puddles, right? It goes large, medium, small, right? So that exact puddle pattern was coming up left, right, and centre. Every time I'd walk, I'd see the exact same 3 puddle pattern, right? I mentioned it to our little Jimmy, and Jimmy's like, "Nah, don't say that." About a few more seconds of walking, we look down, and it's the same. It's just the same. And I go, "Look, Billy." And Billy goes, "What?" And I'm like, "We're seeing the same pattern." He went, "Nah, you're not. You're fine. You're fine." He's zoomed on his phone. I don't know what he was doing, but he was on his phone. And me and Jimmy look back, like Billy's there. He's not disappeared. We look back, and we've not moved from the entrance. From what we thought, we hadn't moved. We've been walking for about a solid 5 minutes, and we had not moved from where you're entering to the walkway. So we carry on walking, and we still see these little the puddles combination. Then we look back again, and we've still not moved. So then me and little Jimmy decided we'll start walking back. Billy was trying to persuade us to go to the abandoned houses. And then we were like, alright, okay, we got to the entrance, we realised that we weren't stuck, and we carried on walking. We didn't look back once, but the puddles were the exact same puddles. We got to the abandoned houses, and to be honest, we just bottled out of it. We looked in and we were like, there's no point, we just know there's going to be druggies there. Like, there's no point, we're not risking anything stupid, we're fucked. We're absolutely stoned at this point. But we had a better idea. There's a place near mine, a little walk, quite a long walk, but when you're stoned you don't really care. We had no feeling or whatever. So we start down this walk. It's another long windy path with like, it's a few houses in sight. It's just one of them like back roads with a few nice houses on it, but very nice houses on it. We're walking up, and we get quite far up, and out of nowhere, Jimmy goes, "There's Slender Man," and I'm like, "What?" Like absolutely, I was absolutely fucked. And I go, "What?" And he goes, "Look," and if we were sober, which we clearly wasn't at the time, but if we were, we would have realised that it was just another lamppost. It was literally a lamppost or a pole with a white sign on top and then a red sign underneath it. But because the rest of the forest was black, there was no lights or anything. It was like that late, there was nothing on. We would have realised that it was just a pole. But at the time, we were like, fuck off. So I start looking back and like, that is genuinely Slender Man. I go to Jimmy, like, you being serious? And he goes, yeah. Alright, and then I look back and I'm like, yeah, it is. So we start full pedal to the metal. Billy at this point is getting a bit sober. He's like, it's not, you're just seeing stuff, you're just hallucinating. It's not. And I'm like, yeah, it is. And he looks back and he starts laughing his head off. And I'm like, what? And he goes, yeah, actually is. So we start full pacing it, walking really fast. And like, everything's just, like, we're just seeing loads of stuff. And what doesn't help, we don't actually know what was in that pen. Like, Billy's give it away to someone to look after for a few days because he doesn't want to use it as much. But we actually generally don't know what is in it. We'll still use it. I'd happily still use it. I'm not bothered. But when you're seeing stuff like that and like your mind's just completely boggled, then you just don't really know what to think, and you're seeing stuff and you're just like, I'm looking back now and I'm like, clearly there's something in it, because I would never have a reaction like that if I was just stoned, because I've been stoned in the past off his old pens that he used to get off normal weed. You just get really chilled out, and then I'd start laughing at everything. But when it's like that, you just think to yourself like, what is in that pen? So we carry on walking, we're getting home. We got home eventually. I was starving, got in, and made myself some food, scrambled eggs. This was like 3 in the morning when mum and dad were asleep. I made myself some scrambled eggs and bagel, scrambled it, went bed, woke up the next day, and it was time for college, and I was fucked. Went to college, and I was absolutely fucked off my head. Like, I had to sober up, and I couldn't sober up. So it took me till about 3rd period, and I was still a bit iffy, but because I had maths and English first, and I was just like, why? So yeah, me and Jimmy and Billy have got funny experience to think back at when me and Jimmy thought we saw Slender Man, and we thought we got stuck in a loop, when in reality we were not moving. We just kept on seeing it. We were moving, but we thought we weren't. So yeah, thank you for the story time. Stay listening if you did listen, and be sure to check out the next video when it comes out.